Okay, over this extensive news that we're getting over all this time with the media scrum, the fight, the debacle, the brouhaha, the scuffle. I don't know. I said that backwards. But besides that, are we still concerned that the elite has been the greatest thing since sliced bread? I want to understand. These guys aren't the best in all the five other indie promotions they've been in. They've never been the conspicuous draw. So Kenny Omega's supposed to be the most well-renowned return since over this year, and he comes around making AEW lose 90,000 of their viewership around the tide he comes over to help the Young Bucks in this trio's title. Then they somehow lost after the pay-per-view anyway, after a scuffle backstage. You give it to unprofessional marks that obviously have no, experience or respect for the business, and not giving it to guys with actual experience, understanding, and just a lot more respect. There's no respect around AEW. It's just if you like somebody, it's like they treat it like goddamn high school. People say like they would get bullied in high school. They treat AEW locker rooms like high school. And we got Tony Khan as the unprofessional single mid-40s manager that always is best friends with the team, with the club he's in, but you didn't know that he wasn't a student. Like that's Tony Khan. I wish there was there was more to any of this. I just really hate the elite over to the extensive wannabe jobber mentality that they have, just ripping off the too sweet hand signs, not drawing a dime anytime those guys come in. They're not even being the best wrestlers on the goddamn show. That's kind of sad. I wish you could take it as hating. Just know that this is my own opinion. So take it as you must. But that's just how I feel to this contents of what the elite stands for. And it's just bullshitting over the extensive unprofessional jobbers that are just getting paid all because the guy wants them there, not because they actually do well for TV ratings, or else they wouldn't be on TBS. We'll see them on Fight Network. We'll see them on WrestlingStreaming.com in probably 5 years because they can't hold on to a television deal to actually save their goddamn life, knowing that you are paying some of these guys bills. I don't know how important Tony Khan priorities are. Trying to make sure he doesn't disclose, status quo to make sure everybody knows their goddamn deal. And he can stop trying to hang out with the goddamn wrestlers, trying to feel like he's part of the group. And it just gets me more tight, knowing that the elite thinks that their shits don't stink. And it ends up with many other people following and getting heat or leaving for WWE, knowing how petty it is that they have a 90-day no compete clause. So that's longer than what Vince does in a yearly basis when it comes to releasing talent in around at least a month or two that they're not able to compete. Begrudgingly keeping these guys under contract, and then they have to force themselves to get themselves over to try to feel like they're still prevalent on TV, like people ask to watch the Young Bucks. Or what is Kenny Omega gonna do? These guys suck. They all act like they're introverted weirdos over in a Comic-Con, always trying to talk with their arms closed and shit. I hate. And the way they're wrestling. The way that Kenny just says that he's the best one. Why do people still call Kenny and the Young Bucks the best in... They weren't even the best in Ring of Honor. They weren't even the best in New Japan. I remember watching a bit of Ring of Honor at the time when I heard about the stupid-ass Young Bucks. The Briscoes were way better. They have an established gimmick. They look like they can kick your ass, and they always have a memorable match with good personalities. I don't even know the personality of the Young Bucks except getting fake Jordans, spamming super kicks, and no charisma to save their goddamn life with an introverted girl that collects Pokemon cards. And fuck Kenny Omega too. Anybody calls him Mount Rushmore of the 2010s when AJ Styles exists, Seth Rollins exists, Kevin Owens exists. Yo. Why? And just Hangman is just reaping over the benefits. All because he knows them more. That Charisma Vacuum was world champion for 6 months, and nobody ever told me over on on the dirt sheets or anything around this internet wrestling community that they're excited what Hangman's going to do. They're just going to say that he's going to have a great match. That's his personality. All these jobbers can just pick up the average, okay, spot filler match that never is like a cut above anything else that any other wrestling fed does. And just knowing, like, the Elite are not even the draws of AEW. They haven't been since they started. People cared about what MJF was doing, what Cody Rhodes was doing, what Chris Jericho was doing. Now CM Punk and Danielson. You think anybody cares for what the Elite do at all? That's just depressing, bro. Like, tell me your favorite Young Bucks promo. I'll wait. Kenny Omega just spouting over that he got wrestling premieres, top 100, whatever. Yo, that's just... How is that cool? I'm trying to understand what makes the Elite cool. I want to get it. I want to get the cool factor. NWO, you got guys smoking cigars, trying to take over the place, with cool motorcycles, kicking everybody, kicking everybody's ass on the roster, taking names, bro. And if you can't beat them, join them. That's what made probably the NWO the most trailblazing, most inspirational, and biggest part of pro wrestling in pop culture for the past 20-something years that wrestlers are still influencing to this day. And so do the Young Bucks too! This whole Bullet Club shit and the whole Elite trying to make their own personal indie clique. It's weird. You guys are just starting a Fed and there's already this much infighting. It's depressing. The most I ever got from TNA was desperate ploys to make themselves relevant or as big as WWE, and it's understandable because you're trying to put yourself up there, trying to still profit while you're in a big TV channel like Spike, and do something than just be that other Fed. I understand that. Sure, that bites impact later because they're not on television anymore; they're on goddamn Access. That's not really that much of a public television channel. But it's still on TV. I hear it's still more Impact Wrestling headlines than what happens in the show over what happens over on AEW. At least I pay attention more about what's the plot. Like, the plot is Ring of Honor if guys are coming over to feud with Impact Wrestling. Sure, it's an invasion angle done to death, but at least it's an angle. It's a primary plot on the TV show. And sure, you can love it or hate it, but at least it's something that they're putting on television. I don't know what the hell AEW is doing is because of their inconspicuous, they have no type of way to generate a plot, generate anything episodic, and just try to push over the card as much as they can without any remnants to, make a storyline. And even if it involves the Elite, we're just here for our best friend. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Go to WWE? Yeah. Yeah, they'll find you for slapping your thigh. Yeah, shut the fuck up. These guys are such a mark, they're already trying to deplete the roster that they're paying anyway. Overconscious man-children. I hate the Elite. If you guys tell me anything about the Elite, I'm going to ignore it. I remember my friends like, bro, the Elite are cold. How are the Elite anything? I never heard of them. Even over the mid-90s with the whole Click and Curtain Call debacle. Michaels was at least the biggest draw of the company still at that time in the New Generation era before the Attitude Era. So how the fuck? Don't forget Scott Hall. Recognizable face back in the day. So was Diesel. Oh, he was the lowest drawing champion. He was still a top guy. These guys have to force upon themselves to be top guys and not make a name for themselves. You're just supposed to know them because of the internet. That is depressing. They are not established. They're overrated, skinny, fat jobbers that have no memorable match up in their resume except for what they do in other promotions. They suck. And fuck off. I don't think the FTR is much better. The only reason why you would like FTR if you're 50 years old, you're Jim Cornette, or you have went that far gone over to the totem pole to find any interesting tag team that you actually like. Besides that, that's it for me. Thanks for watching the DST show. If you guys agree or disagree, just know only you care about that. Subscribe, share. Thanks for watching.